Hi to everybody, people of Just Radio. I am Daniele Antonio Battaglia and I am glad to welcome you to Stardust. Well, before we used to say that Stardust was the new galaxy of music, but now we are going to stream it like a podcast. So we can change our claim to say that Stardust is the new podcast galaxy. Well, today we are going to talk about another hot topic of these days. Is the world changed? Is the world actually changed? After all we had to face on last month about lockdown and the pandemic of coronavirus, I mean, the people had really a lot of time to think about themselves, to think about everybody's lives, and how to face the future after all happened to us. And we know some country got it more, some country, for their lucky, got it less than others. For example, Italy was one of the first ones that had to face this issue, this virus. Before then Italy, there was China, and after these two countries, we had Spain, United Kingdom, Germany, Iran, and now United States of America, Brazil, Mexico, and Russia, and many others, unfortunately. Well, on these lockdown months, many of us had really a lot of time to do different things, because many people had no way to work, or somebody had to work, as we used to say, remotely, or smart working, and other people who had not this chance did something different in their lives, like study something at home, or e-learning, or training always at home, or playing video games, watching movies, and many others take care about the people they love with Skype, WhatsApp, doing video calls, and using many kind of devices to keep in touch with the other people, with family, with friends, and whatever. Well, on this period that all of us unfortunately had to face, who first, who later, who is still facing it, like in USA and Brazil, well, social media has been filled with words and sentences like, well, now we are learning something new, life taught us a new lesson, and the world is changed, and many other kind of this stuff, always about this topic. But now, in Italy, in United Kingdom, and some other country like Spain, France, and Germany, well, the situation is changing, because we are getting back to what was used to be named as normality. Well, now we have a different kind of normality, because we need to go outside with masks, with gloves, to keep social distance between us and others around the street. But we have been supposed to learn something while we have been in the lockdown period. But for what I see right now on the street, if I go on the balcony of my home and I see people walking, I guess that maybe we learn anything in real. That actually the world is not really changed for somebody as is supposed to be after this pandemic. I really can understand that after all these months locked down in our homes, now we need to go outside, like to celebrate the new freedom we got. But I also see that many people keep treating others like shit. Yes, like that. that still we yell to each other, we get mad to each other for silly things, for situation that it could be managed really differently, but we just find the easiest way to fight each other, to solve the problem, and maybe sounds to me like the world is not actually changed than what used to be before, because I still see the same kind of behavior we had before the pandemic of coronavirus. And I still see people fighting for something stupid or silly, just for a park lot, just because somebody go in front of you in the rear or to walk in a shop. That's what I have seen on these days. And I ask to myself, and I ask to each one of you, so we had so many time to think about ourselves, we could be better person, better human being, but at the end of all this we still see situation and bad events like the murder of George Floyd in USA. Still, as I said in the first episode of this show, still something worse, because has been made by a policeman who is supposed to protect all of us. Well, so if we had not really time to think about what could be better for us and the world, while we have been locked down in our homes for these months, when we will be able to think of we could be a better people, if now we will back to get this new kind of normality of life? Well, that's something that make me sad, because I see that human being looks like they don't learn from the mistake have been made before in the past. And what we are living now in the social media era is something that drives each one of us just to think of cool we have to look when we take a pic or a selfie to show on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and is not what we really need to be in our life with other people, to be socially ready to help each other, to support each other, and to think, and much more to think, that to understand what is supposed to be actually really important, not just for myself, not just for yourself, but for the entire community and what really matter. And we have seen on last days, not only on social medias, but also around the street, much more in the USA, about people who is protesting against what happened to George Floyd. And we read a lot about the words Black Lives Matter. That's true, Black Lives Matter, and every kind of life matter in this world. So not just white or yellow, black, everybody doesn't care about which is the color of your skin, but it's important that you are a human being. So I ask to myself, after this movement, this rebellion that we are having, after what happened to George Floyd, people will keep it in mind, will remind it in a few months when things will be different, or at least when this event will be far away from our mind. And what will happen then? We will back to make the same mistakes, or we will learn really something, because for what I see so far, we, or at least many people, still had not understood anything about what we had to face and still facing from the pandemic of coronavirus. So to end this episode of Stardust, I ask you again, guys, and I'll let you with this question till the next week. Is the world actually changed? See you next week with Stardust on GS Radio.